Games, Brains, and Headbanging Alive here with another episode of the Flashback series. We are going to the PS1 again to Driver. Driver, known as Driver, You Are the Wheelman in North America, is an action driving video game, unsurprisingly, and a first installment in the Driver series, developed by Reflections Interactive and published by GT Interactive Software, released on the PlayStation on June 1999. The game, inspired by movie car chasers, unsurprisingly, sees players driving around 4 real-life cities: Miami, San Francisco, LA, and New York, using a variety of vehicles, with a plot focusing on the work of an undercover police officer called Tanner. John Tanner infiltrates a criminal outfit investigating operations, only to discover a plot by their boss to assassinate the President of the United States. Yes, the game goes over the top with that one by the end. Additional versions were created and released at later dates, 2 ports for Windows and Mac, handheld remakes for the Game Boy Color and for iOS. Released in May 2000 and 2009 respectively, and the game was re-released on the PlayStation Network on the 14th of October 2008 and had further sequels: Driver 2 in the year 2000 and Driver 3 in the year 2004. Likes, dislikes, favourite moments, scenes, bits of music. Right, get started with some likes.
Well, I mean, it's basically Destruction Derby, Grand Theft Auto, and Die Hard all in one game, in my opinion.
You're well overselling it, in my opinion. That makes it sound brilliant.
Die Hard as in the
driving part, yeah.
GTA as in literally just police chasing everywhere,
yeah.
And Destruction Derby because literally you're crashing into everything.
Fair point.
So so basically, I mean, obviously it's nowhere compared to those games.
I get your thinking on it. When you're describing it, each one, I'm like, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of damage and destruction. Yeah. Smashing into cars. There's a lot of police chasing.
Yep.
And what was the other one?
Grand Theft Auto.
No, that's police one.
Oh, sorry.
Die Hard.
Die Hard, yeah.
I wouldn't quite compare that one because Die Hard is more comic booky.
Well, yeah.
Fair enough. Is that it? You got any more likes?
So I've got different modes, So there's obviously there's survivor mode, and there's one where that's a different mode. And I got obviously the last one is there's a mode on survivor mode we can make our own films.
Yep.
It's a love doing that. Literally, your own little. You can pause it and then turn around, and then you can see all the police flying everywhere. And just really cool it was.
Yeah, obviously you've covered a lot as a driver.
Yeah.
Gameplay, car chases were pretty fucking cool. It's the entire antithesis of the entire game.
Get us out of here!
Branching paths with different missions, the whole, playing on the thing, and you could go and, some missions were available, others weren't. How intense it could get when your wanted meter was full. It got crazy. When that thing is full, the police
flying actually everywhere.
They're lunatics. Yeah. They're like on, I presume on fucking off, they're not on drugs or something for the way they chase you.
Yep.
They don't want to, they're not just worrying about like stopping you and arresting you, they're trying to kill you.
Definitely.
And a survival bonus game. You touched upon it, but if there's one bonus game, there's a lot of ones just like driving the cones and stuff like that. Survival bonus game, that is the one, because that is a game mode where you begin with your wanted meter full, and you've just got to see how long you can survive, which is just great. Dislikes. Okay. It's there. It has to be. It's the same thing everybody complains about, the fucking opening garage segment.
Yep.
What on earth were they thinking? What were they thinking? You have a 60-second clock with a list of tricks you've got to do. You can only damage your car 3 or 4 times, and that's damage isn't the problem. Mm-hmm. That timeout, we are not joking, is so tight. I'll imagine the amount of people who gave up after trying this over and over again, because a lot of it doesn't need... If you don't know, what is a saloon? What is that? I don't know that.
You the man. We're gonna need you.
I don't know that. You'd be doing it perfectly, and then it wouldn't register a 180 backwards, reverse 180, 360. You'd do it and then smash through a car.
Yep.
Oh, this is the worst training opening. And what is it training you for? How often am I going to be doing a lot of these moves, you lunatics?
I would love to know what they're thinking.
Insane.
Because even now, I struggle doing it. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how many people actually just fortune out bollocks this. I've just spent £30-40 in this game. I can't even get past the training.
It's famous. Driver is famous for this fucking opening mission.
Yep.
Famous for it. Absurd. Talking about absurdity, though, the final level. Do you know how I've only ever beaten Driver by doing one thing? Cheat. Making yourself indestructible. There's a codes you can put in the Driver, and one of them is to make yourself indestructible. Basically, you're trying to escape with the president in this final level in New York, and these villains are after you, and it is insane. It's the game mode survival in the actual game. It is so fucking hard. So hard.
I didn't put it down there, but actually, now you talk about it, I remember this. I remember this all.
Yep.
I've just got the missions wise. There's not really much change.
There's no variety.
It's the same thing over and over again. Mode. And I've got the fact that you can't leave your car.
Yeah. I
thought that it would have made it a bit more exciting if you can get out of your car and maybe have a little walk mission every now and then. But
Cool. I did write one as well. Getting out of the car thing, right? So they would actually introduce that in Driver 2. Fucking sucks. There's not much to it. It's like they knew we can't go too far with this. Otherwise, we'd be accused of ripping off Grand Theft Auto. Yeah. So I'm glad they didn't do it. Driver 3 would introduce something very interesting, which was you were in a coma, and it was like you could spirit out of cars and spirit into a new one and stuff like that, which was an interesting idea. Definitely. Yeah. Favourite moments, scenes, bits of music.
Like I said, for me, it's got to be making videos.
Yeah, of course, I have it too. The video editor, create your own movie with amazing camera angles. Yep. That ties into another one, which is to do that. There's one level you want to choose, just one level, on survival, and you want to choose San Francisco. because it has hills. And if you manage to make it down the initial hills without the police fucking you up, you will be able to get one of the coolest looking movies as turning the camera as you come bouncing the hills and all you see is police cars flying in the background. The hilarity of creating a movie that involves you or the police, I mean, we're talking about launched in the air, like cartoon style, launched in the fucking air, is brilliant. So they're the two for sure. That always, when I think of Driver, that's what I think of.
Yep, definitely.
And its soundtrack overall is very, very fitting. If you think about the music, and the one I'm going to highlight in particular is the New York at Night theme. Now, you may not know that off the top of your head, but it's probably the one that you associate the most with it. And I'm going to play it in the video, but I'll... Down, that one. That. It's a very fitting soundtrack. Yeah. Driver on the PlayStation 1. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon to help us out over there. That's patreon.com/GBHBL, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?